Very good morning, welcome. It's Saturday the 15th of March. My name is Jeff Lawton, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. The first thing to say, thank God Cheltenham is over, where so many short price ones got turned over. 13 horses at 5-2 and below were beaten, including the likes of Constitution Hill at 1-2, Madgeborough at 1-2, Ballyburn 4-7, and Galopin de Champs at 8-13. Now, I put up 6 bets all week at Cheltenham. That's all to my private clients. We had 3 winners, so I'm pleased to say we were some of the lucky ones, but I know so many people did their absolute brains at Cheltenham. I've never seen such strange results on decent ground at Cheltenham over the last 40 years. It's why I said you've got to be careful to choose your races that you're playing, and why you should limit your bets to 2 or 3 bets maximum per day. The good news is it's normal work day today. Racing is back to normal, and I'll be surprised and disappointed if I don't win plenty today. However, it is a Saturday, and that's always the most difficult day to win money. There are about 36 races today, and we need to play in the ones that favour the punter and not the bookmaker. Concentrate on the races where the punter is the favourite. Now, I'll cover quite a few of the races now, and remember, if you do want to join or even inquire about my private service, drop me an email to the below address at jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com. And my private clients receive the bets at 8:30 AM by text. This is the final day of our week, and this will be the 17th winning week from 18 since the jump season started at the beginning of November. We have a running profit of 224 points, which is an average of 12.5 points profit per week, or £250 in cash every week if you bet to £20 per point. There are an average of 2 bets per day, and these are sent, as I say, at 8:30 by text. If you're not interested, as I always say, that's absolutely fine, but just do yourself a favour, hit that subscribe button below, because you'll get to know every time I put the video up. You'll not have to sit and wait. If I'm early, you'll find out early, or if I'm late, you're not having to keep waiting for it. So just hit the subscribe button below. Let's look at the day's racing, and we'll start at Kempton. Starting the 357 Quebecois of Paul Nicholls. Now, on paper, this has to be a 2-horse race between Quebecois and Kingston Pride. They both came out the Irish point field and were both sold for big money. Quebecois going for 320,000 and Kingston Pride for 200,000. Both won on their hurdling debuts in this country before being upped in grade to grade 2 level, where they ran in the same race at Sandown on testing ground. That suited neither of them, and both are fancied by the respective yards to win today. It's a hard race to be dogmatic about, but I probably just favour Quebecois. They're both roughly even money, and that probably just about says it all. In the 4:32, Alan King runs the Doyen Chief. Now, a few things to say here. Firstly, Alan King's horses are in very good form. In the last 2 days, he's had 5 runners, a third, 2 seconds, and it should have been 2 winners, as Irish Chorus was about 10 lengths clear and cantering when he fell after the final hurdle yesterday. Secondly, the Doyen Chief really should have won last time. Tom Bellamy probably overdid the waiting tactics as he sat on the shoulder of the winner, looking as though he would win hard held, but he didn't pick up as well as he thought, and he was beaten the neck. And thirdly, they finished 13 lengths clear of the third, so for him only to be put up £3 seems quite lenient. The top weight Slipway won this race last year off exactly the same mark, and it's a mark that they then exploited over hurdles, because the mark was lower over hurdles than fences. It's a track, obviously, that he runs well, but the Doyen Chief jumped and travelled so well last time, he would have to be the choice. He was available at 7-4 this morning, but that price has long gone. At Newcastle in the 312, Serendipity, trained by Sue Smith and Joel Parkinson. Another yard that's in good form, and he's been mixing it in better races than this recently. Most of his form has been around 2.5 miles, though they did go over 3 last time in a better race, but where he travelled really well and only tired from the last. Now, that was on ground much softer than today, and he should have no trouble staying 2 miles 7 at Newcastle. He meets horses mainly out of form or returning from a break, and he should be too good here. He's another who has been smashed this morning, and why I bang on about getting on early. He was 11 to 8 this morning, but again, that's long gone. If you are going to bet, do it seriously. Get your bets on at 8:45 latest, not 1 o'clock. In the 4:22, Jamie's Con of Sam England's. Now, they ran this 3 times over hurdles where he showed next to nothing. The nearest he finished was beaten 30 lengths. All those runs were over 2 mile and 2 mile 3. They were very quick then to run him over fences and also to up him to 3 miles 2 after a wind operation. But they obviously knew what they had because he was a very well backed favourite that day. And in the main, he jumped well. He loved the faster ground that day, and even with a £5 increase, he's still only off a mark of 92, and he should take this in his stride. 2 races to look at Southwell and 1 at Wolverhampton. In the 6:15, good banter of Clive Cox's. Now, after just getting touched off on turf debut, he comfortably won 2 novice races on the all-weather. The form of the second being well franked, as both the second and third won next time. He was then given a mark of 93 and ran in a very strong race at Lingfield, where despite being drawn 12 of 12, he still went off favourite. But from that draw, he could never get into the race. The handicappers dropped him £1. He has the 1 draw today. Ross Ryan gets back on board, and this looks a fair bit weaker. Again, another very well backed horse, having been available at odds against this morning. In the 6:45, Human of Andrew Baldwin's. Now, Human was actually doubly declared by his trainer. He was declared to run in this race and also in the 6:15 against good banter. But he was quickly declared a non-runner in the earlier race. He's run well in all 4 starts and has won his last 2 races on the all-weather. Significant thing here being that last time he beat a horse called Rebel's Gamble, who then won a listed race by almost 2 lengths. Whilst a handicapper put him up £6 for that, he may well revisit Human's mark at a later date. He does take on a formidable opponent here in Leadenhall Street, who was most impressive on handicap debut. But that was in a far lesser race than this. He was a far lesser race than the one that Human won, I think. Leadenhall Street ran in a 0 to 75 handicap and Human running a 0 to 100 handicap. He also went up £8 for that. So all in all, I think Human should be too classy for these. And finally at Wolverhampton, Bay of Dreams in the 8 o'clock, John Ferguson's horse. Now, he had 3 moderate runs to get a mark of only 55. But he travelled like a much better horse than that on a handicap debut recently at Newcastle, where he had them well strung out. That was only 5 days ago, and so the handicapper hasn't been able to reassess him yet. Instead, he runs with a £6 penalty. But I think the handicapper will be a fair bit harsher than that. So if you are still around at 8 o'clock tonight, he could certainly be worth a look. That's all the races I want to cover today, but I've put up just 2 bets to my private clients today. If you want to know what they are and you want to get them at 8:30, please drop me an email below, jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com. If you don't want to do that and wait for each day's video, that's fine. But please hit the subscribe button below and then you'll get the notifications of when I put the video up. But thanks very much for dropping by. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thank you.